Yeah, hey, good morning. I know I look a little rough around the edges. It happens sometimes, you you work quite a bit and things just kind of you know, you try and look nice, It's the hair thing again. I don't know. So good morning, everybody. Hi, it's still morning, and my name's Kim Overholt, and welcome to my channel, Kim Overholt Art and Entertainment. Or I should say, Overholt Art and Entertainment Studio, because this is where I am here in my studio. I've got my camera all hooked up and ready to roll. Let's see, and my camera ready to go. And yeah, I've been just getting stuff ready this morning, organizing my office, and getting stuff put into place so I can give you maybe the next chapter of something else to try. Okay, so changing the medium is always important too. So if you like art like I do, you like to do more than just painting, and you like to dab into different things. Now, when I went to college, I took classical animation as well as art fundamentals, and art fundamentals gave me a scope of all kinds of different ways of creating and challenging yourself to do different styles of art, which included not only just drawing and painting, but also sculpture, 3D design. There were so many other different aspects of it that it kind of puts you into perspective where you wanted to be and what direction you wanted to head in. And so I would find it, if I'm not working well with one medium, I'll switch to another, because sometimes that's what all it takes is just a little bit of trying to figure out if you're not doing something well at something, switch to something else and try that for a while and see what happens. Now, this morning it's kind of cloudy and gray today, so I have extra lighting today, so it's kind of bright in my face, and I apologize if I know. Hey, what can you do? This is what you get for 52. Well, I'm going to be 52 in December, so I still have some time. Yes, I am. I am Sagittarius, but I am the 13th symbol actually, and I do go by the 13th symbol, which is Ophiuchus. So Kim Overholt Ophiuchus of the 13th symbol, who is a natural healer. Yes, I enjoy, and that's part of the reason I'm an artist. I enjoy using my hands, and I like to do massage and things like that. And if I think I didn't do art, that was the other thing I was going to delve into, other than computers, art, and massage. What a combination! I can massage some good technology into your brainstem. Yeah, whatever. I don't know. Anyways, when you're starting doing any kind of art, you got to make sure that you have all the things that you need to get started. Hold on, sorry. My shirt seems to want to pull up on me because last couple days, last couple weeks, last couple months, I've been having issues with my Achilles tendon here. So I've been putting this nice sock on it, and actually it's been helping quite a bit. So a recommendation, if you ever have any tension, if you need the tension bandages, these ones aren't bad. Like I don't really like. It's not really like tense. Like I was wearing something else that was a lot tenser on my foot, and it actually pinched quite a bit and didn't really do anything for my foot. I find I'm using this, and it's actually, the swelling's gone down quite a bit. Not a lot. I mean, when you work an 8-hour shift, it's going to come right back again. But it actually helps to soothe the area and makes it warm. So it promotes healing. So I appreciate that. Believe me, I'm trying to heal. We are always, as people, always trying to better ourselves and trying to make things better for everybody else too. So well, I don't know about you, but I try to always make myself better. I try to improve myself every chance that I get, and even with the skills that I have, I always try to see what I can get better at too. So, I mean, art, computers. I also like to cook, and that's what I do for my job. I am a deli. I cut your luncheon meats, and I create all kinds of hot foods for you. So you can kind of on the go. This is what I do. I catch you guys on the go, and I give you what you need to continue on with your day. Yeah, what else did I want to say today? yeah, so I'm going to try a different medium today for you guys. And as you can see behind me, I've got my, this is my drawing pad. I usually have small drawing pads, and you've seen my sketchbooks before. If you've looked at my previous, if you've looked at any of my previous videos, you'll see I have a sketchbook that I go to quite frequently. And it always helps to have a handy dandy pencil nearby, which I always do. Have a pencil with a good eraser on it. And also it helps to have an eraser nearby. Now this is a moldable eraser. Now I don't know if you've ever seen a moldable eraser before, but I have inside, I've done like a little bit of a thing on it, but I can always go back and do it again. What it does is like you can squish it, gives you good makes your hands very strong. So I have very strong hands. Yes, as a healer, I have very strong hands. When I massage, I do some damage. I can actually, like, I use my elbows. Like I cheat. I use my elbows and bang into it. Yeah, you have to be strong to be able to massage people sometimes, to move the muscle around. You know what I mean? So that's my bitch face. So. Yeah, so this morning, so for a while, with my ankle being what it is, I haven't been able to get proper exercise. So I've gained a few pounds, obviously, and but I'm still watching my diet and watching what I'm eating. You always have to be sure, if you want to stay healthy, you got to eat healthy. You can't, how the whole thing with computers, garbage in, garbage out, is the same thing. If you treat yourself bad, you're going to get bad results. If you treat yourself good, you're going to get good results. So it all depends on what you. If you want to treat yourself bad, that's your prerogative. But if you want to treat yourself good, think about your health. Think about what makes you happy, rather than having to think of what makes everybody else happy. Think about yourself for a change. And it's not necessarily being selfish in a way, if you're just trying to get back to a better state of mind and that kind of thing. And doing art, I always find it always puts me in a better state of mind. Even, oh man, sometimes I wake up grumpy, and I don't mean to. And it can be just a matter of somebody making a noise, or you know what I mean? Like, it could be something extraneous, something that's beyond my control, but I'll be angry about it because, how dare you disturb me? But we always have to keep ourselves in check, and it's good to keep ourselves in check all the time, even when it comes to our health. Everything is very important, especially in these times where health, and nobody knows exactly what they're doing anymore with their health. They're relying on people who don't even have a clue to go ahead and tell them to take something that probably they don't even need. But I digress. I don't want to talk too much about. I am into a lot of medical, but it has to do more with the brain. I'm very fascinated with the brain for my own personal reasons. I don't need to stumble through my words today, but I guess because it's live, I have to really think about stuff before I talk. So, and that's also a great thing about being live. I thought about the other day. I was like, why do I do this live presentation all the time? I really could actually just, do a video, edit it, make it look nice and stuff. And I'm thinking, you know what? When I used to do paint nights and things like that, I had to do it off the top of my head, thinking about it, and now I how to play. Oh, Oh, I'm just reading about the ukulele teacher. He's got a new lesson note. I also play an instrument. You have to keep your brain always functioning, right? And like I say, the brain is one of my biggest things that I like. Besides my hands for healing, I use my brain to think about different ways of keeping myself active and stuff. See, here's the thing about me. Some people who don't know much about me, those of you who don't know much about me, here's the thing. I am a rare blood type. I am type AB, which type AB positive, which makes me 3% of the population has my type of blood. And the weird thing is just like, I don't know where I got it. And if anybody can figure this out for me, I'd be greatly appreciative, because look, I'm making a tomahawk. Yeah, creating something. I'm making a weapon. Yeah. But yeah, I'm molding my eraser as I'm talking to you, so I get it so I can get some thin sides and some thick sides so for erasing when I get to starting to do the picture behind me. And I'm talking to you at the same time. So yeah, and we were talking about how things kind of, type the type of blood I have is very rare. I'm a receiver. I can take all types of blood, but I can only give mine. I can only to my type. It's unfortunate. Um, I've been reading up on that, some information about that too, and it seems like I'm at high risk. It figures. I'm at high risk for getting some kind of heart problems or something. I have enough heart problems already with all the love that I have in my heart, and I give it away to everybody, and then I get, it's like, oh, how I ache to have it reciprocated. It's always nice when it's reciprocated, of course. And we all try to do the best we can with what we have in this world. And having been, I'm a rare blood type, uh, having such a strange, like a strange background. I hope that the ending of my life is more exciting than the beginning. Well, and if it isn't, I hope that it is more exciting than I expect it to be. I was hoping to go in a fiery explosion. You know what they say? I follow James Dean. His motto, of course, he doesn't live to it, but the motto, "Live fast, die young, and leave a beautiful corpse." Hey, I'm trying. I'm trying, and yeah, there's some tendencies for people who have this thing for death. I don't know. I'm not one of them. I love being here. I'm glad to be alive, and I'm glad to be in a time where I'm around the same age as a lot of people that I find big influencers. So I find it really great. Even though I might be even older than some of the people that influence me right now too, which is kind of funny. But you know what? You can find influence everywhere. So yeah, to get you started on a little bit of drawing, I should do that. So first things first, like I say, make sure you have an eraser, which I've now made to a tomahawk. Actually, as you see, I've made it so there's a nice thin edge here. So if I get little tiny ones there, and I can always mold it into like a little one like this. Watch. I made a face with this one time, and when I used to work at a call center where they wouldn't allow me to draw or anything when in between calls, I had this, and I could do like make little. I made faces and stuff, anyways. But let's see, you can make like a little point if you need to get like a little spot there. You can make like if you need to get longer, if you need to get a more spot, and if you have a bigger racing, you can use the back, and like you can always mold this into what you ever want it to be. You can make it like I used to make cartoon characters when I was working at a telemarketing place, and yeah, I'm so sorry. I'm good at being a telemarketer. I can sell snow to an Eskimo if I could, back in my time, of course. But nowadays, I don't, not as much. Okay, my friend Jean, who lives in Texas, is saying hello to me today. So, hi, Jean. Hi, Jean. Wait, I tell her that I have a YouTube channel, but I don't know if she actually follows me or not. But yeah, she was saying hi to me. I said hi to her this morning, and I also said hi to one of the many BPs that are following me. Because you know what? Even though it may not be him, I always like to, say hello to people who want to say hello to me. So I feel that's really awesome. So if any of you are my 28 subscribers ever want to say hello to me, please feel free to, because, I'm always hanging out here, and I'm always having a good time. Just, I don't mind being alone. Here's the thing. I work with a bunch of ladies, and sometimes, working with a bunch of ladies can be trying at times, but, we all get along pretty good, and I appreciate that. Um, but even at times, working with people, there's sometimes where you just, okay, I've had enough of being with people. I need a little time to myself. And this is great because my hubby, he gives me a lot of free time to be able to express myself and do the things that I want to do. And I find that very, very liberating because he trusts me. And I do not ever want to break that bond of trust that I have with somebody that, spent at least 25 years by my side, helping me, trying to get through. Trying to get through all this art, trying to make a difference in the world. I'm trying to make a difference in the world. He's just trying to make sure that I'm happy, and I appreciate that. So I guess, if you find somebody in this world that can make you happy or you are happy with, that's the best thing. It's just to be happy. And yeah, oh, it's like the color changed all of a sudden. Oh, you know what? I used to do filters. I used to have one of those leaf filters where I used to put it over the keep changing the colors of my background and changing the color of my camera. I don't know where they went to. I did a cleanup just recently. Hold on, what is this? Yeah. Oh, this is from my new phone. um, I did a cleanup recently, and I think I might have moved them somewhere. They might be in a drawer somewhere. And that's my phone. My phone. And this is just a thing for when I'm doing painting. Oh, see, I still have stuff over here that I have to kind of go through. I have still this big thing of my face paints. Yeah. I keep these over here, but because I had to make up my face one day. And okay. So I had this too, just in case. I was thinking of maybe using it for when I'm doing big projects where I have to put a lot of paint in. You can put water in the middle of this. So even things that are plastic, you can recycle and reuse for painting, which is great. So that's what that's for. And as soon as it's done, I can throw it in recycle. It's recyclable. I am a recycler too. Besides the unraveler, they used to call me the unraveler in a previous life. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. The unraveler, they used to call me. And you know what? And it's a funny thing. I say that, but I have a peak of truth to that. They used to call me the unraveler. They used to be able to, when I was young, they would give me necklaces and things that were all kind of tangled up together. And I have patience, and I can pull them apart. And yeah, that was one of my things that I could do. I am the unraveler. I am the unraveler. The unraveler of worlds. Yes, best to be careful of me because, yes, I will unravel your world. Okay, so let me just check. This can go garbage. I think I wrote it down. Yeah. Let's say something like Tuesday. Sorry, I'm just looking at my schedule. Sorry. And then I'm going to start. I'm sorry. I'm delaying. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure I got my numbers down here. That's today. Okay, today. Yeah, 3:30 to 8:30, and then I have the next couple days off. Oh, thank goodness. All right, so we have our paper. We have our pencil. We have our eraser, our moldable eraser. So now what I have to do is come up with an idea to draw. So again, I'm going to go back to my computer, and don't mind me for a second. I'm just going to take a look around and find a nice picture. Now, I start with I go to, say it's black and white. Uh-huh. And see what I can come up with. Oh, maybe I can even do just like a drawing, like drawing, black and white drawing. Let's see what we got. Brr. Sorry, I'm just looking at some pictures. It's like, yeah, okay. I like that one. There's some really cool illustrations. Oh, yeah. Okay. Anyway, a little go black and white photography, and that way I can photography. Maybe I'll go back this way. Let's go. Photography. There we go. Detective photography. La 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 la. So I want something that has a white background to make it easy to pull apart. Ooh, I had a boyfriend that looked like that once. Yeah. Yeah, right. Okay. Let's try something else. Oh, you reflect in my eyes, and I can't disguise. I'm in love with your portrait. And yeah, it's going to be a portrait, obviously. Let's see about that one. That one's really kind of nice. If I can find something that's a little bit, it's so unfortunate. They probably were a really good couple together, I betcha. But you know what? Wow. I wish I had to do for something that's a little more light. A little more light than that. Light background if I can. I can make it something dark, I guess. Dum dum dum. Kind of reminds me of a friend of mine. Anyways, yeah, doing a portrait is interesting to do. So you always got to keep in mind like circles. You always it's basically down to the same thing like when you were a kid, where you have your circles, and you go from there. Okay. I can't believe it. I can't believe you do that. Yeah. Well, that's kind of a good one. That would kind of make it neat and interesting. Okay. All right. I think I found one. Okay. Let's just pull this one off here. See. Oh, I didn't mean pull it off. Okay. So I'll close this off. There we go. So I found a picture. So the next thing I'm going to do is, sorry, I have a tendency to kind of look around. Where the heck did it go? Okay, there it is. So the great thing about modern day nowadays is that you don't have to worry about having something physically in front of you. You can pick whatever picture you want and grab a hold of it. Okay, so now that we found a picture, now let me just do one more thing. Because I have to make myself a little bit smaller so I can see more of my screen. So hold on a second. Yeah, I know you guys are talkative today. Yeah, I know. It's just me. Okay. All right. All right, sure. Yes, we're gonna do it. I'll do it anyways. All right. So basically, let me put the screen up a little bit for you so you can see what I'm doing too. There we go. I'll tuck it a little bit this way. There we go. Or maybe I'm gonna go over this way. Who knows? I'll see. Hi. Yeah, let me put my see, this is what brute strength will get you. That's from lifting mortadella. There we go. Okay, so anyways, okay, so we have our pencil and we have our eraser, and we can just start by just thinking of how it's going to go on our picture, on our painting. Here. Okay, oops. I posted a picture of Harry Houdini, one of my, what you'll call it, one of my paintings that I did, 18 by 20, 18 by 24, that is still for sale, which is like a 30 centimeter by 40 centimeter if you go by centimeters. And okay. Anyways, yeah, I don't have anything to do there. but I got things to do here. Okay, so we do in proportion. We keep in mind what our scope is that we have to work with here, and kind of in comparison to what's on the screen. Okay, so, and if I have to adjust it, see, it's actually, it'll be half, yes. Half the screen here, so I'll go like this, and here. Okay, so this is where shoulders are, okay, and it's quite in a bit. So I'm just copying, I'm just doing a rough first of basic outlines of what it is. Now, standing away from it is always good to do too, and looking at the picture itself, you can use your pencil to kind of make sure you're getting your angles correctly. Okay, looks good. All right, so next you do is it's almost for me, like I say, every time I do another picture, it almost is like doing a puzzle. And I love doing puzzles. Puzzles are one of my favorite things to do. Oh, look at me, I look like I'm wearing a gown. Anyways, okay, so we go with the shape. The shape of the head is, of course, it goes down to about under there, so it goes from here to the top, just like to here. Okay, so the head. Let's see. I may have to go in a bit. It might be actually a little bit rounder. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, my lady, in the sun with your skin on, with your dress on. Oh, I play music, but unfortunately, copyright, right? Okay, so basic circle here. Now I'm like looking at the circle there. Now I just want to make sure because the eyes are going to come right about there. The eyes are, the shape of the head is actually like this and leaning forward. So you see more of the forehead and the chin is further back. So you can keep that in proportion. So when you're doing your shape of your head, ones that you don't use, okay? And then later on you do shading and everything else, but right now you're just getting your proportions and making sure that where things go are where they're supposed to be. So say about here, there's collar, that's higher this way, but there. Oh, and it's more of a, you also can take by angles. So like say 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and midnight, and all in between. So the angle of a collar here is at, say, 7 o'clock there, and almost 6 o'clock there. So 6 o'clock, so it's more like that there. Let's see, eliminate the line. Seven, almost 8 o'clock there. Yeah, okay. And yeah, what's going to happen is it's not going to be, I was going to say it's not going to look exactly, but it's not going to take up the whole picture. I'm thinking here now that I'm looking at it. So as I'm going along, I just take my shapes. So and the shape kind of goes like that, and then comes in that way, and then that one goes down to like almost 5 o'clock here, or 6 o'clock there. Almost 5 o'clock. Okay, so almost 6 o'clock. So we're more about it that way. And then it has see, yeah, you know what? I might go a little bit smaller because that's actually. Let me just see. So it comes down to. I might be ad-libbing a lot of the stuff that I'm seeing here because obviously I should maybe turn it into a sideways picture, but obviously now it's too late. But I'm trying to keep my portions proportions correct. So they'll come down like that. And I can make it blend right out if I want to. And up here, obviously, da, 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 and this one kind of goes, da, da, da. So it's a little bit more that way. His head is a little bit smaller than, because the ears got to come out here. Ears start right about here. Here is right about there. So you see how the proportions are starting to come together. Okay, so we are now going to do where the eyes, nose, and mouth are going to go, just a basic outline of where, okay, so where this, here's the bottom of where your earlobes are, and so it's like that. All right, and then this kind of goes and goes to about here. So if I go, and that one goes to about there. It kind of comes up and goes to about there. Make sure that I'm in proportion. Always, if you're not sure about something and you're doing it like you're right up here, back up from it, okay? Back away and look at it, and then come back at it again. I used to do that when I do paint nights and stuff like that, and people were like, what the hell? Get away from me. What are you doing? It's like, no. You have to get away from it. If you find that you're getting too involved with something sometimes, you have to get out of it and back away and just kind of like go back into it. Almost like a relationship, right? Right. Anyways. Now I've done so many of these portraits now. And I appreciate the fact that, I'm getting better at recognizing the shape of people's heads, right? Because sometimes you find that there's also the hair that's involved, and the hair can also take up a big portion of the face too. So, and the shape of the head right there, of course, the eyes are across. So, okay, the eyes, let's see, there. So right about here are the eyes. The nose, of course, is like a little bit lower so the top is here, so lower. The nose is about there, and the mouth is. You got to keep in mind the chin is a little bit back, so the chin would be here. That round, I usually put a round circle to kind of represent the chin and where it is. So it's going to be small here, but it's because he's looking down and looking up, and there's a. You keep in mind shapes. So there's a Y shape that's kind of like in the center here. And there, you can kind of tell where the proportions of the eyes are going to go. Like, go there. And yeah, you gotta make sure you give yourself enough room to have both of the eyes in there. All right, so I hope you guys enjoy watching me break down a picture so that you can draw it. So, and you see there's all kinds of shapes in there, and as you go you can keep on creating. Like the nose shape is like an arrow that points down, and the lips kind of like and the chin would be like right up there, with the lips there. Okay, and so you give yourself a basic. So you got your basic sketch down. I don't know if you can see that or not. I hope you can see that. Anyways, so, and as we go, you also keep in mind, okay, so if we're thinking about the shape of the head, it's a little bit like this. So you got a little bit of curve there, a little bit of curve here. He's actually looking down. So like I say, this part is going to be smaller than this part here. Is actually going to be quite prominent, and it's going to kind of Okay. And so again, just because I know the shape of the face, it just makes it easier for me to do this. So, but just to show you how you can. There we go. We got our hair in there. Now it might not be perfectly because the actual picture does cut off the top of it. Why do they do that? Why do they make a picture and then they cut the top of your head off, like right at the crown? Like what? I know you're trying to get a close-up picture, but get the whole face in there. You know what I mean? And then you use your eraser and you start erasing all your primary lines, and then you start digging into the more permanent lines there. So you, the lines that I was showing you about where you put the eyes, nose, and mouth, I can now eliminate those. Just kind of erase those. Okay. One thing I was always told, and I was always thought, okay, you can't erase a picture. Yes, you can. And sometimes there's an artist that actually says do it, because what it does is it makes you see better what is actually in proportion. So now I use my eraser quite a bit where I never used to before. Now, certain things will be a little bit interesting in this particular picture because there is light coming from the side that lights up the person's head here. So you have to keep that in mind as well when you're doing the picture, where different proportions are going to go. The eyebrow is kind of like flat that way. And I was always told by my art teacher, draw what you see. Don't draw what you don't see. If you think it looks like something, if you know it, basically, if you know what it is, look at it differently as if you've never seen it before, and then come back at it and see if you recognize it, kind of thing, and change it up a bit. Where's the eyebrow is? Okay, so we got our basics going on down here. All right, so I'll show you. Leave it a little closer so you can see. I don't know if you can. It's a little bit better for proportions so you can see. Okay. Now, everybody's different. Some people can just right off the bat, they know exactly how to start drawing and get all the proportions into looking like they should be. Some people are so dynamic with it; it's scary. Me, I just try and make sure that I'm not making sure that everything is in proportion mostly, and I've gotten better with my proportions, and as long as I'm paying attention, of course. Give me 1 second. Da, 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 da. Oh, yes, that's right. All right, so, all right, I have a couple things I have to do, so I can't go on doing too much of this, but I will get this started just to show you, okay? So, some people, when they hold their pencils, of course, you hold the pencil like you're writing, you hold it like that, but when you're holding it to do some art, you switch it up, and you hold it like you're holding onto a cigar, maybe. What was it? I shot an elephant once in my pajamas. How it got my pajamas, I'll never know. So yeah, make it look like you're holding on a cigar, and you kind of point it with your finger to where you want it to kind of go, and you start drawing, right? Okay, so we are going to start drawing, and I'm going to start by actually doing some shading, and because shading is what's going to make this work. So let me just give me 1 second. I'm going to proportion it better for me. If I can. No. You know what? I'm just going to leave it. I was going to make it a little bit more like this. But you know what? I'll just do the best I can with what I got. Okay? And, if you have any questions or suggestions, please let me know. And, of course, when I know, I can tell that the line of his nose is actually quite skinny. So I'm just going to go and go along here get some lines and angles going on here. And like I say, I'm switching my handling of my brush, my pencil into something different, so you can kind of see and just watch. Just watch a little bit. I can't do this forever because, like I say, I got a couple things I got to get done first. There, mostly this half. And yeah, so if anything, this head is a little small, and it's dark. Yeah, even there, it's dark. And don't worry too much when you're starting about like the shading at the moment. You eventually, what'll happen is you have to erase some stuff, and this is what's going to happen. You're going to erase some stuff. So we start with some shadows, lights and shadows, so it's really dark down here. Go to about there, yeah. So. It's darker down here, so he's wearing a white shirt, so like he's supposed to be a good guy or something. Okay. Now, some people will use like gosh, can you think what it's called? To kind of a smudger. Yeah, a smudger to smudge the shadow and things like that. But it all depends on how this comes out, what I'm going to be doing. So again, like you see, a little bit of wherever you see shadow, add shadow. Where you don't see it, don't add it. So there you go. And it gets a little lighter as we go here, a little bit darker as we go this way. So, and down here, is it like a dark spot there? And there we go. And it always helps to look at the subject. You know, a lot of people say, "Oh, you know what you're doing." Yeah, it helps to kind of know what you're looking at too, to do the actual subject. So, when you're doing proportions and stuff like that, it can get a little bit hairy. And I'm hoping I'm in proportion. I'll find out soon enough. When we start going into some actual details, and then I can find out how far off I really am when I'm doing this. So, like I say, it's just to basically give you an idea. I can go. She's got beard, mustache. Yeah, the part I don't like is having to like just not talk to you while I'm doing this. I have to concentrate while I'm doing stuff, but I always like to make sure if anybody has any questions, I'm right there to answer them for you too. But here we go. So as you can see, proportions, it just takes a little while and you get going and then you start seeing a shape. You see the shape emerging, you see the face emerging from the background. And again, just take your eraser and you start erasing some of the stuff. I'm gonna erase some of these lines here. Just, the ones that you are going to be like, go back over and erase them kind of thing. And so I'll keep going. But there might be a time I might have to go and do a few things. So, and I don't want to keep you too long because I know this is like watching paint dry. Sometimes it's not as much fun to sit here and watch me coloring and stuff. So, it'll get me going. As soon as I get to a point in park, I'm actually just going to be doing a lot of shading at the moment. So shading is an important part of making sure you get your proportions correct too. You kind of see it in your mind's eye kind of thing, and you follow along with it. Sha-la-la-la-la-la, my lady, in the sun with your hair all done. There we go. It's getting there, you see? Let's see. You draw what you see. Don't draw what you don't see. If I don't see that. So I'm going to draw this. This is what I see. This is what I see. And then this. Okay. The eye actually, I think the eye too big. It would be actually a little bit smaller. Start. Oh, and of course, this eye. It's not too big. It's actually a bit smaller there. That little isn't that big. It's actually quite small. And the eyes. I have a tendency to try and make big, but I know they're probably smaller than I imagine. Yeah, see, there's the some shadow there, and then it goes like that. And the light is right over here. And it goes to like that. That's good. Again, because he's looking like this. There's like part of the eye has a little bit of a right there. I'll fix that a little later. And, people usually start with the eye, the drawing, to kind of get a drawing in proportion, right? I love how things turn out. I love when it starts to come around. Like you start seeing it, like, okay, it's working. All right, so it's got like that. There we go. All right. And this one's darker, and it's like right in the sun, so it's not going to see very much sunlight or light at all. It's got like a little bit of light. It's mostly dark. Okay, so now we've got at least the eyes started. Let me see what's going on here. Oh, some cartoon. I always love my comic books, and I like I say, I follow a lot of people who do comic book art, as well as my tastes range all over the place. So as you can see, it's coming along pretty nicely, and it's just a matter of just taking your time with it, looking at the actual picture, ooh, and drawing it. And sometimes people just concentrate on like the eye, and then that's it. It could be the whole picture could just be the eye if you want it to be. But I'm one of those people that I like to do the whole portrait. So it's going to come along, and it'll be like a nice slow kind of process. Now, you always kind of too keep in mind that there's going to be some things you're going to have to erase as well. So just work on making your proportions look correct. Getting your shadow correct. A shadow is very awesome to do once you get the handle on it as well. And shapes. If you see certain shapes, you keep those in mind too when you're doing your drawing. See some squirrels playing around outside there. Start there. And there's a shape, and it's a shape that kind of goes like this to here. See? And it comes down this way. It's a triangle shape. Kind of goes right there and right to the bottom, under the nose, to about there on the cheek. So there's that. See? And you start you start seeing how things start to fall into proportion. There. Okay, so now we'll work on the nose. And the nose is kind of like, because you can't concentrate on one without getting like the rest of it in there too. You have to do all of it. Now one side of his nose is got light in it too, so this side has a little bit of light going on right here. I can always go back over it with the eraser and remove it, kind of like the light spots too. And his nose is like an arrow shape. I like watching people stare out my window and watch people. And his eyes, nose is like, okay, again, you kind of like, a little too big. There we go. Eraser, do your stuff. There we go. Like that. And you can see the nose has a shape. You can go like this. And let's get the light that's right there. So eliminate some lines here. There's a light spot right in there. And you know what? Sometimes it's good to use a brush. So I'm going to show you. I'm using a brush. Oh, that one's kind of dirty. Hold on. I have some clean ones here. So, like, rather than using your hand, because your hands have oils on them, and as soon as you touch your picture, you try not to touch the picture. But when you have to, when you have to erase something, you take this little brush here, and you can just kind of and remove it, and it won't put any oils from your hand on there. And one thing that I've always been told when you're doing like pencil is like, be careful where you put your hands, because you end up with this nice smudge of black that comes. Well, if you're left-handed, it would be this side. But if you're right-handed, it would be this side, and you smudge, and it gets on the picture, and it smudges the picture, and you're like, shit. So you have to start all over again. No, it isn't starting all over again, but you're basically having to rethink things and fix things and put it all back into proportion. So So even with that bit of light in his eye, one part of his eye is still kind of on the darker side, surprisingly. And the plate is actually a little bit smaller, but let's think we're going to put that straight. Like that. Yeah, something like that. And yeah, it kind of reminds me of a friend of mine. Unfortunately, we don't talk much anymore. A little bit of light underneath. See, what you don't see is there's probably a second light that's coming from like under here somewhere. Or not just here, but like kind of, and it's kind of like this way, see? So, and there's, most light is coming from behind as well, but we have some light coming over on the side here. So you can mix it up and play with it a little bit, but you always have to keep in mind where your shadows are falling. That way. And then there's another one that kind of comes in behind here. And it's almost like, yeah. Does it go from the ear? Kind of goes from beside that light spot there. So this is actually kind of a north of the light spot there. Oh, where's that? And so it's light, but it's not. Oh, see, and like this. And it comes down to here. Okay. Yeah. Let's see. You see? Okay, so this that to there. It goes this way and it goes into the that. See, this is where it gets boring, and I know it's like, geez, I could be watching paint dry. Yeah, you could be. Now again, I have to kind of step back because the eye is like that. Into there. See, I can eliminate some of that because that's, but it's dark in there and you can't see that. So what you see is like right up to here. Keep in mind again, shadows. Like, will you stop drawing him? Why do you keep drawing him? I don't know. I don't know. It's just because it's a very easy for me to draw. An easy way to show people how to draw proportions. There we go. Anyways, so that's just the start, okay? This is how it goes, kind of thing. And I'm going to continue with this, but I'm going to probably, I got a few things I got to do. And I don't want to keep you very long, and I don't want to extend this any longer than you need to. But at least you know, we get it started, and I will show you the progress as I go to see if you find it very interesting. and I will show the progress when I come back. But in the meantime, I appreciate you watching, and I hope you have a I can't even talk English today. I hope you have a fantastic day. I will, and happy birthday to those celebrating a birthday, and I hope to see you guys real soon. Ciao for now. And I almost forgot. Peace, old brother, with a little bit added, as my mom used to say.